See, with marijuana people, when people are on weed, their strength and their agenda is to promote weed. Like that's their strength. When they're mainly about weed, it's like, yo, my life is revolving around weed. So I can offer you some weed. Now, I know you got some kind of problem, insomnia or, you know, um, you know, obviously cancer, you feel like you can't eat. I got some weed, 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 weed. It's always about weed for the most part. But then there's the other group that's like hiding weed because they know that they don't have peace with pushing weed. They're still doing weed, but they're not trying to like give it to everybody and kids and all that stuff because there's all these lines that are drawn. You're not going to offer a 6 or 7 year old weed, you know. So why do you need it then? If you're not going to give it to a little innocent child, So why do you need it? So anyway, we can find any kind of reason to need it. But what about needing deliverance or healing from bad habits or addictions? So I mean, if you can convince me it's only a moderately used edible for whatever reason, it gets you closer to God or whatever. You can only convince me maybe with edibles, but most people try to defend straight smoking, and smoking, tar, lungs, cancer, blah blah blah, automatic shutdown, same as cigarettes, if not worse. Plus, people are using tobacco paper to roll up their weed, so you're basically still nicotine, tobacco, cancer, emphysema, can't breathe, dying, terrible death, and all that stuff. It's just not the truth. You already know. But my point of this whole thing is when you're on weed, a lot of times your answer to everything is weed. Because I've been on weed, I've been off weed. When I'm on weed, I don't feel right because I'm not trying to push weed. I'm not trying to line up with that agenda. I'm trying to push Christ. But when you're pushing Christ, Christ is all about free indeed. So there is no justifying bondage or promoting bondage or trying to give other people, Christ maybe can use medical marijuana. I'm not going to, go as far to say you can't use it for a season to help somebody. But ultimately, we should be pressing for redemption, redeemed, high level, anointed, healing mantle because is God's arm too short to not give you a supernatural miracle? Come on now. So where's your faith at? That is the point. What is the testimony? The testimony is God gave me the bombest weed so that I can stay stoned. It doesn't make sense. The hotter testimony would be, yeah, I had to use weed for a season, but you know what? God's power just literally pulled me out of medicine. Like I don't even need it. Everybody's seen I went through a season where I needed it, but then God healed me through His Word, through prayer, through fasting. He healed me from all kind of addictions. Now I don't need cigarettes. I don't need to go to the bar. I don't need to drink. I don't need to misery love company with the homies. I don't need to click up and roll a fatty. I don't need to go have a drink and deal with my day. I don't need to be scanning all the lust of the eyes on the internet and looking at all these pictures and stuff. I'm complete in Yeshua and what He's provided for me, Yahuwah, Yaira, my provider. And He provided with me with a mantle and anointing to pull down strongholds, the stronghold of drug abuse and addiction, drugs and alcohol, lust of the flesh, lust of the world, even craving every material item under the sun. I'm free from all this. So it's really a season of like, yo, be set free. It's really real. It's really true. It's Yeshua, HaMashiach, the truth. And so the people that are debating it, like, oh, you just don't have moderation or whatever. It's like, the thing is, you can only serve one master. You can serve Yeshua or you can serve weed, it seems. Because I just don't see a great movement of weed people out here saying, yo, Yeshua, all powerful, is saving from smoking. There's no weed people that are saying that, of course, because that's their choice method of use is to smoke it. I think it's cool to not smoke. Smoking made me feel like crap. I was always coughing in people's face and always having some kind of allergy to it. So I think that's cool, and I give the glory to Yeshua. And you just can't preach that when you're still doing it. So be encouraged. You know what I'm saying? He is all powerful. He can save you from dying from smoking. He can, you know, fast, replace the bad habit with good habits. And you too can shine for Yahshu.